Yo, Jackson here, back again for Daily Endeavours, this time for the 23rd of April. As always, if you're looking for one of these options in particular, if you're stuck on that one, and you want to just jump straight to that, just check the timestamps for the chapters in the description. We've got a 15 steel set, there's Crafting with Jewelry, we've got World Boss, Dining Room Furnishings, this one's going to be interesting to talk about, Survey Report, and Battleground with the Guildmate. So if I were you, if you've got Summerset, I'll do this, the Jewelry Crafting, World Boss, and a Survey if you've got one. If you don't have a Survey, check this one. If you don't have Summerset, your options are a little bit limited. I would avoid this one like the plague, if at all possible, because it's definitely going to be the longest one to do. Yeah, these options here are good if you can get access to them, because yeah, Dining Room Furnishings, not as easy to get one as the furnishings of previous ones. Okay, so we'll keep it simple. Start with Jewelry Crafting. All you do here is go to Creation, make rings because they cost less. You don't want to make 4 items for more for the same amount of steels. Just go 4 rings, just craft those, and that'll be your endeavor done. The only thing that you need is the pewter, and in that case, you'll find lots of this stuff on guild stores, refined or not. So if you need stuff to craft jewelry with, in this case, just go to any guild store, jewelry crafting, and then material, and just look for pewter ounce. It's pretty cheap, especially considering how expensive platinum can be. So yeah, pretty good to just use this stuff. And this stuff can be used from level 1 too, so. Right, so with world bosses, what I suggest you do is come to this location here, just north of the Way Shrine in Daggerfall, the one you start with. You've got this world boss right here. This is the only one I really recommend, because usually there's a bunch of people here waiting, and it'll mean that killing this boss is fairly straightforward, because there's enough people for it to die super quick. The only issue with doing this is this world boss usually takes a while to respawn. I don't know of any world bosses that you can force spawn, like in instance places, because group dungeon bosses don't count for this, only world bosses do, so yeah. There's a couple other places that you might be interested to try. These 2 world bosses here, just a little bit away from Woodhearth, or is it Woodhearth or Woodhearth? Serpent's Grotto, Wayshrine. There's these 2 bosses past all the enemies here. You can run back and forth and see if one's spawned or not, and that way you've got 2 bosses that will respawn in time instead of 1. I do like to use this boss as well, because it's relatively close to a Wayshrine that you start with as well, so you don't have to travel very far. I also like this boss a fair bit because it's very easy. The boss spends a fair bit of time trying to create AoEs on the floor that cause it to channel and not do anything else, so if you don't interrupt, it's really easy to kill. You've also got this boss here, which does something quite similar, and this one here, which also does something quite similar. So Alika Desert, also a good place for world bosses. This one here digs under the ground, and it's like, it spends ages under there, and you can just get all your resources back and just basically reset your sustain. And this one here, as long as you don't interrupt this enemy, this world boss, it's like a golden saint with a maul, they just spend half the time trying to hit you with AoEs that you can easily get out of. So those are the ones I would recommend. But, you know, you've got lots of world bosses out there. If there's one that you like going with, you know, there's even ones like the Abomination's pretty straightforward. You know, find one of those. But try to find something that is easily accessible by other players, because then you'll have a better chance of there being other players waiting for it. Because the most annoying thing about world bosses is you can survive on them, but they have fucking damage sponges. They take forever to kill. So, in this case, I'll fight Limsgather. Just give me 1 sec. Yeah, so this guy does a lot of damage, but he attacks quite slowly. So my advice is block as many attacks as you can safely block. Also, if you are able to, don't interrupt that channel, because that channel will basically, he won't do anything while he channels. Okay, so that backhand attack, that is like his most dangerous thing that he does. So yeah, when he does this, just let him do it. Get your resources back too while you're doing it, because he's not going to be attacking you much. Block stuff, and just repeat the process. Whenever you see his arms move, basically, start blocking, and yeah, just always be careful of that one there. It's so bloody annoying to deal with. That was dangerous. Yeah, maybe put a burst heal on your bar, and whenever you get like backhanded, just make sure you pass your burst heal if you get wrecked. Because yeah, that attack fucking hits like a truck. Yeah, that one there. I don't know what they were thinking. Every other attack does less damage than that. Okay. And that's your word box done. Yeah, just block a lot for that one. It helps a lot. And yeah, that backhand attack is like the worst thing. It's like so it's like so overtuned. So if you are fighting a world boss on your own, there's one more thing I do suggest. If you have access to any companions, slap a bunch of healing gear or a bunch of tanking gear on them. It can be really helpful. You know, a companion being able to tank the bitch slaps for you while you do all the other stuff can be really helpful. But yeah, I would say if you're going to do that, give them some decent quality stuff like blue or green at least, because they aren't as smart at taking punishment as you are. So yeah, something worth considering there though. And you know, these days green and blue stuff isn't that expensive anymore, unless you're going with like the bloody quickened or the damage dealer stuff. I don't know why that stuff's still expensive, but anyway. So now we get 2 surveys. So in order to get a survey, you need to complete a crafting writ. Just the regular ones, not the sealed master writ ones. Every writ that you complete, regardless of the level, so if you're level 1, like if your crafting level's 1 and you have access to writs, if your crafting level's 50 and you got everything maxed out, doesn't matter. You'll always have a 12.5% chance every writ that you do to get a survey, minus provisioning, in which case you don't get any surveys for that. So don't worry about that one. But every character you can do writs on, if you don't have a survey yet, could help, because you got a 1 in 10 chance of getting a survey, basically. So that can help. If not, though, if you don't have any surveys and you don't get any, you can't do this one. It's kind of shit. This is exactly why I say anytime that we do resource from the world or anything like that, I do bring up, like for example, this one. I forgot to in the weekly. I'm a bit of a doofus. But you can use writs to harvest resources from the world. Surveys. But if you've only got 1 left, it's days like this where you suffer for it. So yeah, just be a little bit careful with that. So if you do have a survey, there is something I do suggest you also get if you're on PC, and soon if you're on console, when they finally fucking enable mods or add-ons. There is an add-on you want to look at called Lost Treasure. This one here has a setting to show you on the map where you can find surveys when you have them in your inventory. So you can use this to so you don't have to, like, normally you can just read the map and it's not too bad, right? Like it gives you basic instructions on the road, but it just means that you're not looking at a map every now and then just to find it. It shows up on your map, and it also shows up on your compass too when you get close enough. And if you have a mini-map too, it'll help a lot for that. Though I find my mini-map does malfunction every now and then. Run away and make sure they're Diagro first. Now the good thing about surveys is, no matter what's going on with other players, it's instanced. So these 6 nodes that you get, even if another player comes up and grabs theirs, it won't actually affect yours. So this is something that players cannot impact in any way. So it's good in that regard. All you have to do to complete this endeavor is interact with one of them. You don't actually have to collect any of them. As soon as you do that, as you can see, survey report completes. Now, obviously, you do want the stuff, because even if you're not going to use it, there are endeavors that come up that ask you to refine raw materials as well. And as you can see, it also counts for harvesting the resources from the world for the weekly. I really should fucking do that video again. I completely missed that point. But yeah, the problem is, as soon as you do this endeavor and you interact with this survey, the survey will despawn when you go too far away now, because when you'll notice as soon as you complete the endeavor for the survey will actually disappear, and as soon as you interact with it in any way, it will no longer stay. So you can't just do that, keep one survey and go away. That's why I suggest you just hold on to one, because or that's why I suggest you usually keep one in your inventory, because you'll always use one for these. And sometimes there can be 2 survey reports. They do show up as well, which is fucking annoying. But yeah, if you don't have a survey report, you cannot do this one. It's really annoying. So now we got to the most interesting endeavour to talk about today. We've got dining room furnishings. I don't know where the room comes from, because the actual furnishings are classed as dining. It's a bit weird. But anyway, unlike the ones previously, you can't just go to a furnishing NPC vendor and buy one whenever you feel like it. This is one that's going to be a little bit more of a pain to get your hands on, because there's only 4 categories that work. There are benches, chairs, counters, and tables. And I've gone through, I've read everything I could find about all of these furnishings that you can get from these categories, and there is not a single one that you can buy for anything lower than like 10,000 gold. And you need achievements for them and shit. Like 99%, I would say, and honestly, that's not even a joke. You can see here, they all cost crowns. A very small amount, mind you. But still, like, pretty much all of them cost crowns in some way. Because what you do is, in order to find these, when you're in your house, at the bottom right, you see housing editor, you press that button. In the middle, you just press browse, at the bottom there. And you go to the purchase tab. And as you can see, you can buy items to put in your house for crowns. Now, in most cases, I avoid this shit like the plague, because you can just buy some of these things with gold as long as there's some in the guild store, or you can learn to make them yourself. Something I would recommend even more. But if you do want to buy one of these, because if you do this, it's a one-time purchase, right? So you buy it, you put it in your house, and whenever this endeavor comes up, that's the only item that you need. You only need one, because you can do the undo redo thing that I'll show you in a minute. And then anytime this endeavor comes up, this one item is all you need from that point. You can just keep it in your house, ready to go whenever this endeavor comes up, and that's all you need, right? In that case, this is the only item I would suggest you use. It's 20 crowns, which is theoretically what? Like 40, 50 cents or something? So, in the grand scheme of things, I suppose it's not too bad. But if you can avoid buying anything for, like, real money, I do suggest trying to do that. Now, there is only one more thing I'm going to talk about with the real money. If you don't have a proper house, I do suggest looking at one thing. Because if you don't have any crowns at all to buy this with, look, I'm not a big fan of using real money to buy anything in this game other than, like, DLC. But at the bottom here, the lowest amount normally you'll be able to buy is 750 for 10 bucks. But this thing here, the Housing Starter Pack, comes with a house that, honestly, this house is the only one you'll ever need. If you want to play this game long term, like, this thing will sort you out for life, really. And it also comes with 800 crowns. So basically, you're getting crowns. You're basically getting a free house from this. The amount of crowns that you spend, if you do want to buy crowns in this game, this is the only thing I would recommend other than the DLC. Because, truth be told, the house does look pretty good, and it's quite large considering that most of the houses in this game that they sell cost fucking hundreds of dollars. This one only costs, like, what? You know, a jar of Nutella, really, which is, you know, I consider that acceptable. But yeah, anything else aside from that, I'm like, ugh. Alright, so in the other method, which is using gold, you're going to need probably a few thousand, I would say, you'd want to look at, which conveniently we got yesterday. So if you haven't spent that yet, maybe look at just buying this for the long run whenever these dining room ones come up. So if you don't have a house yet, what I suggest you do is you come to this location here in Vocal Guard. It's just right next to the wayfront that you start with by default, so it's easy to get to. There'll be a lady here you can talk to. If she's not here already, you've already got the house, so it's good. But just exhaust the dialogue, you've got a house that appears in this tab here. So you can use that for placing your furnishings, and that house is free. So yeah, that's all you need for doing the endeavor. Now, this is the annoying bit: finding something to use. So what you're looking for is you've got to go to Furnishings. So open up the guild menu, go to the Furnishings tab. There's nothing that, like, is considered to be dining here, but what you're looking for is anything with the... Yeah, there you go. So at the bottom, the top left of the... So this Colovian chair tooltip it says furnishing, dining, and chairs. So that second word, dining. Anything with that word there is what you're looking for. But as you can see, it costs a fair bit of gold. So what I suggest you do is you go to the Tamriel Trade Center website. I'll put this in the description. I'll also put the link to that the house I was looking at before in the description. This website can show you what's in guild stores. Not always like up to date, but can be really helpful. And it's got all the servers and stuff. So for example, I'm on EU, I'm on PC, and now what we want to do is anything in these 4 categories, we want to type that word in. So for example, we'll just go chair. Now we go furnishings, because otherwise you'll just get tons of blueprints as well. So now what you want to do is when the items come up, you click the price button, or you click the price text there, and now when we look at this, what the fuck? Interesting load screen. Now you look through this, and as you can see there's that Argonian chair rough we were looking at before. So this is in Windhelm, so what we can do now is just go have a look and see if it's still there. Actually, in the search bar, type in chair. Ah, damn, it's not there anymore. Wow, that went away quickly, didn't it? Chair. Dining, there you go. Alright, so 2,000 gold. And go to mail, the item purchase, and then now we've got it in our inventory. So now what we do is go to that house that we were at before. If you're near a way shrine, instead of going to your map and traveling to the house, go to the way shrine and then travel, because that actually it skips the animation for fast traveling. Alright, so as we see yesterday, the tea table. Go to place, go to dining, and we've got a red guard chair. Now all we got to do here is do the same thing. So we place it. Now at the bottom left, you'll see it says undo. Press that, and then redo at the bottom left there as well. So undo, redo counts as placing a furnishing too. So that's why I say you only need one, and it's easy to do. So yeah, there you go. So unfortunately, that's like the only real way. Either going through the purchase thing or buying one in a guild store somewhere. Now, do you understand that it's not just these chairs? As it's explained before, there's 4 types. And what I would do is, instead of typing chair, just type table. But just understand with tables, there's different types. There's ones for like parlor and shit like that. Go price lower. And tables are also tend to be... Oh, wow. What the fuck? I was about to say tables tend to be cheaper, but tables tend to be more expensive. Yeah, there you go. Common tables slanted. I'll just have a look at that real quick. See if they're classed as dining. Because some tables, some chairs, they're not counted as dining items, so you just got to be a bit careful. Why did I go there? Idiot. Bloody instinct. Okay, so... Looking for long German name. Yeah, that one. Okay, so now we type in table. One table's slanted. Oh, yeah! So you could go with something like that. Though it's 2, annoyingly. But what you could also do... Yeah, so this is another way. Yeah, that could work. So you need 2 heartwood, 9 pitch, and 5 nickel. That is probably going to be a lot cheaper. Yeah, it requires woodworking 1, so it requires fuck all. So yeah, maybe do this instead if you can find a blueprint for it. The only thing is the heartwood. How much is heartwood? Yeah, I mean it's yeah, look, I don't know which is better, honestly. If you find a couple of heartwood on guild stores, you might be lucky, but people usually sell them fucking full stacks. It's annoying. Yeah. If you've got some heartwood in your inventory, if you manage to find some from some wood nodes out in the wild, the only issue is we got a survey today, right? It's like, oh, just do a woodworking survey. You don't get heartwood from fucking surveys. Damn it. Do you sell? You do. Common tables slanted. Yeah, okay, look. So one other thing to consider here, I know it's 250 gold, so it's still not that fucking cheap. But you can buy this blueprint. Requires woodworking 1, so it doesn't require any prerequisites. Woodworking 1, you literally create a character, go to a woodworking station, you unlock woodworking 1. The heartwood, though, that's going to be the main issue, because the pitch a little bit. But pitch is super cheap. It's like 10 or 20 gold a piece. The nickel you can get from woodworkers, these guys here. I'm in the fucking inventory, idiot. Yeah, nickel right here. So you can get that easily, but the heartwood is going to be the main issue. Heartwood is about... It's a couple of 100 gold each. So, yeah, if you can find a couple of heartwood in a guild store, or have some in your inventory, or in your bank somewhere when you've gone to find some woodworking nodes, you could use this too. People do sell this recipe on guild stores too for cheaper. There'd probably be a lot of those out there, but maybe use maybe use Timecodes Trade Center. Yeah, maybe. Some people do, yeah. Some people don't. Yeah, give that a try too. And then also try Heartwood too. But as you can see here, people usually sell them in bigger stacks than that, and you're going to be spending more gold. So, I don't know. I can't really give you a right answer here. Yeah, I don't know. You'll have to make that decision yourself. But yeah, those are the 3 options. So, go through them again. So, buy from the store in the furnishing menu for 20 crowns, that Argonian chair. You could use that one. Buy one from a guild store. In Timecodes Trade Center, look up like chair or table or whatever it is, and just double check, make sure they've got that word in the tooltip, the dining word, or see if you can make it yourself, because that recipe is not too expensive. Yeah, everything other than that, like most dining items are like fucking expensive. Like most like blue ones are like 5 grand. Most purple ones are like 10 plus. Yeah, I can't really recommend anything other than that. So, I just realized, if you do end up getting this house, the one I linked in the store, Seabloom Villa, this actually has a dining item. So this table here counts as a dining item. So don't even need the crowns. So, yeah, that was a bit silly of me to not think about that. Oh, God, I feel like an idiot. Alright, cool. So, there you go. If you end up buying this one, there's something for you. Alright, so now we have the last resort option, Battleground with a Guildmate. The main issue I have with this one is it's 2 reliances on players fucking merged into one. You got the requirements of getting into Battlegrounds with a bunch of players, because you can't just do a Battleground on your own, and then also a Battleground with someone that's in your guild. Now, making a guild's easy, but getting someone to join, like, get into a guild and then do Battlegrounds might be a bit of a pain. So making guilds easy, go into the guild menu, creating and joining guilds, just go create guild. If you can't make anything, just type, just go to Google, get a random number generator, and just in words type whatever it is. So 1, 2, 3, and then just create. Oh no, that one's in use. Never mind. There you go. So just do that. And then in order to add people, you just go to the roster tab, add member, and then just add in their name. And then once that goes through, they will get an invite. Once they accept, then join your group and then start the queue for Battleground. If you do it while in a group already, it might mess up. I know for the Infinite Archive one, if I went into Infinite Archive before being in a guild, it wouldn't work. So you just want to make sure you do this stuff before you actually get into a group and get into Battlegrounds. Now, Battlegrounds themselves, the good thing about it is you don't have to win, regardless of how you perform. As long as you complete the Battleground, that's it. The issue with this is, one, it's going to take time getting into a Battleground. You have to go Battleground, join queue. As you see here, queue times may fluctuate depending on population in queue. It could take a few minutes. It could take 30 minutes. It has taken hours in the past. So can't tell you how accurate this one's going to be to do fast. And the issue is that once you get into a Battleground, it can take up to 15 minutes. So compared to these ones here, which will be pretty quick, provided that you have the stuff for them, this one will always be quite slow, I think, compared to the rest. So only do this one if you have no other options and you absolutely need the 15 seals, like you can't avoid it. Like if you really want something that's in that store and you know for a fact that you need to get the maximum possible each week to get the item, in that case do it. If not, just skip it. 15 seals ain't worth that much. It ain't worth doing a Battleground with the Guildmate, I think, at least. So if you want some tips on PvP and with Battlegrounds, I'm not the guy to do it. I'm sorry, I'm not experienced with Battlegrounds enough to be able for you to trust me with that sort of thing, but I will put in the comments, not in the comments, in the description, I'll put in 2 video links. There'll be one that explains Battlegrounds and particularly the different game types and how they work, and then I'll also have a link to someone who basically explains the basics of PvP and like what you should be aiming for in order to perform well there. But again, you don't have to worry about any of that stuff. No matter how you perform, you'll get it done. It's just, you want to be able to hold your own, right? So if anyone wants a basic look at that house I was talking about earlier, I'll just give you a quick glance at it if you want to. Yeah, I still think this is something abnormal of ZeniMax. They normally charge ridiculous prices for shit like this, but this one's not too bad. So yeah, also this thing, you hit it and it covers the front of the house in green stuff, which is kind of nice. Yeah, that's all I wanted to show. So, okay, thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for your support as always. I'll see you all next time, and take care.